And good morning, this is Teresa Salazzoni. It's time for Schools in Session. First, we'd like to thank Tri-County Career Center for being our Schools in Session show sponsor. But first, before we hear from them, we're going to hear from representatives from the Logan Hocking School District. And you guys are in for a big surprise this morning because we don't have one, we don't have two, but we have three guests this morning who's going to talk about various things happening in the Logan Hocking School District. Our guests this morning are Kim Norway, who is the school counselor, and then we have Jessica James from the Treasurer's Office, and then John McLean, Director of Choirs. So we're going to get things kicked off right now with Kim Norway.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Kim?
I'm doing great.
Good. So there's this little thing called Purple Power. Tell us about that.
The Purple Power Project. Basically, it is a new formed club at Logan High School, and our objective is to promote kindness and positive behavior at Logan High School.
I love that. Now, is that what the Be Kind shirts were about?
That is a piece of that. Yeah, we were involved in helping sell those.
That's excellent. So tell us what's the formulation that kind of got the group started?
So the group actually was started, some of the counselors, we were talking about the school shootings, and we were also talking about students committing suicide. And actually some parents and community members reached out to me and wanted to see how we could provide some sort of a club that would try to include everyone and just kind of teach kindness.
I think that's very important in today's society. It is definitely one of the things that you can do that doesn't cost anything. And I say that all the time on my morning show, actually, because I encourage people to do good things for people, whether it's just opening a car door or letting someone out at Speedway because it's a traffic jam. Doesn't cost anything to be nice.
That is right. And, we've done some really neat projects up at the beginning of the year. We greeted students throughout the district, which it was just interesting to see the students' faces on the day prior to going on to winter break. We passed out candy canes to the high school kids coming into the building, and they were all smiling. So it was definitely worth doing.
Well, it's always good to sweeten up someone's morning.
You're exactly right.
All right. Well, that's great. I'm glad to hear that kindness movement is in full gear at Logan High School. That's great. All right. Now, also, we have lots of money, right? People don't normally say lots of money when we're talking about a school, but the Logan Hall Foundation has contributed and allowed some special things to happen.
Yes, actually, we received the Purple Power Project, received a grant, and hopefully this can help fund some more of our projects. One thing which made me apply for that grant was the kids wanted to pass out kindness bars to students coming in. I did not even know there was a such thing, and they're pretty pricey. And so I started thinking, we need to try to find a grant, and actually remembered that Logan Hall has grants, and it just hit at the right time. So I applied and excited because we're going to buy some equipment to help do more PSI type things. We're working with the new CSI class. They are putting the pictures up around the school. So we're going to buy more poster frames for that. Also with Melissa's CSI class, they're taking pictures constantly and they're on the TVs all over the school. If you haven't been in the school, there's definitely a different look this year, a very positive look. So I would encourage anyone who can get out there and go through the building to see what we're doing.
That's excellent. I'm so happy to hear all these great things that are happening. It's important. Let's talk about some more money, shall we, Jessica? You work at the Logan Hocking School District Board office.
Yes.
Yes, and you work at the Treasurer's Office, so you see all kinds of things funneling in and out. All right. Well, let's talk about the portion of a grant that when I say you, I mean the 328 Roundabout project, right?
Correct.
Let's tell us what's happening with that roundabout.
We are going to put a little bit of Chieftain Nation touch on the 328 roundabout. We have the two 664 roundabouts up there that Logan and Bloom did, and they're beautiful. And so that's, our goal is to make this one kind of complementary to those two, but instead of being a regional focus, it's going to be a school district focus.
Well, that makes perfect sense because unless you're coming from the other side in Union Furnace, everybody passes that roundabout to get to the Logan High School.
Correct.
So how is it going to be Chieftain themed?
Well, I've reached out to the art department, and they are looking into creating some clay tiles that will be school district focused.
Excellent.
To showcase the broad spectrum of extracurricular activities that our district offers.
That's fabulous. And so truly you said compliment the 664 roundabouts because Gene Magnich made, and actually from Logan Clay,
Correct.
made those beautiful sculptures.
Yes.
All right. So are we going to see lots of purple and white maybe?
We are. We're going to have some dogwood trees in there, and some things that offer purple and white colors along with the tiles, and have like some juniper bushes for greenery. But instead of like having grass at the bottom, it's actually going to be like the broken up clay pipe from Logan Clay.
That's going to be amazing because
Yes.
it drives me crazy seeing those roundabouts not mowed.
Exactly.
Well, that's going to be absolutely gorgeous. So
Right.
who all is involved in this beautification project?
It's a group effort. I had to reach out to ODOT, and they've been super helpful because they know that our schools are right there. You go to middle school, Green Elementary, high school, Chieftain Center.
Definitely as a pivot point to get to the schools.
Yes.
Definitely.
And the school board and the high school and the middle school and Logan Clay, and it's a group effort. So
That's excellent. So students will be helping spearhead this?
yes, I think it's Miss Megan Anzalone. Her
Okay.
advanced art class is going to be having the majority of a lot of the input as far as the tiles go.
That's great.
And so I've reached out to some of the Logan and Bloom members and talked to them about, their layout and design for the 664. And I've reached out to a local nursery here, Dave Dalton Pines, to kind of figure out what plants we can put in there.
Okay. Well, there's definitely is a need for it. So
Yes.
whose idea was it to start this? Was it water cooler talk, as I call it?
When it first went in, when the roundabout was first going in, my boss, Paul Shaw, had said, it'd be nice to be able to put our touch on it. And then, it's kind of one of those things that gets put on the back burner. And
Sure.
it's like coming in at the Chieftain Center, we're going to have increased traffic.
Oh,
and
yes.
so we want to let people know that they're in Chieftain territory.
That's right. That segue into the
Yep.
Chieftain territory. Well, great.
So-
I'm so glad to hear that the beautification project is well underway.
Yes.
And how wonderful of the Logan Hall Foundation to award that grant. What was the amount for the grant again?
$10,000.
Wow, that makes it up to $20,000 this morning.
Exactly. I just got goosebumps.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jessica, for sharing that great information with us. Now, last but certainly not least, we're going to talk to Mr. John McLean.
Good morning.
All right, John. Now, I know that there are tons of things that have been happening with the choirs. So let's start with your portion of the grant money.
Sure. So Logan Hall has always been great in support of the choirs in the last 3 or 4 years. And so this newest project that we're working on is a concert tour of the Midwest. So we'll start right here in Logan, get on a charter bus, and go.
Excellent.
So now anywhere between Logan and Chicago, Illinois. We'll perform along the way, probably stop in Columbus. Right now I'm organizing so the students could have the experience of singing in the State House Rotunda, stop at the Air Force Museum along 70 West, stop in Indianapolis, and then end up hopefully in Chicago with an afternoon at Navy Pier and some performances in some historic churches downtown, all for the students' growth and experience in seeing the world and
That's
get them
excellent.
experienced and out there.
Now, that I wish I could sing. We'll start with that.
Everybody can sing, Teresa. Come on.
No. There's a reason I work at the radio station and I talk, not sing. Now, what grades is this trip going to encompass?
It actually encompasses 9 through 12. So the Chamber Singers is the select choir at the high school, but we audition all students. So the audition actually happens in May of the previous school year. So we even audition some 8th graders, and we have 9 through 12 in that choir. 44 students going on this Midwest concert tour.
What a wonderful experience that is for them.
Yeah, and this is something that collegiate choirs do. High school choirs do it sometimes. You have the suburban schools like Bexley and Hilliard, but when you get out away from major cities, it's something that, the little towns or the little schools, we aren't really a little school, but we're we're lucky because we have such a supportive community and people like the Logan Hall Foundation that supports things to make our students on an even playing field with those students who are in suburban areas.
I agree. And your geographical area should not limit the opportunities for students. And I'm
100%
so
agree.
happy to hear that it certainly is not in Logan High School.
Well, and I think the thing that Logan Hall Foundation doesn't necessarily realize is, so the three of us sitting here today, we, as a result of, we're at a total, like you were adding it up as we went, $30,000 now. So $10,000 for the kindness group, $10,000 for the roundabout, $10,000 for the choir, and now we're working together, just the recipients of these grants, in ways that we might not have worked together before. So we have the kindness group help. Just now, sitting here this morning, we were like, okay, the kindness group wants to help with the roundabout. And then the kindness group wants to do all these things in the school. And I've been working with Kim a lot to bring our students together. Like we have the choir kids interacting with the athletic kids, and we have the drama kids interacting with the kids who are in AP classes. So we're really bridging that gap, and it's something that needs our attention. And it's just a reality that oftentimes to get some things done, some things, not all things, money is a thing that really, really helps. So I don't know that the Logan Hall Foundation realizes the impact or the reach of what they do, what they have done for us. And we're so grateful.
Absolutely. They definitely are a true community partner in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
Because not only did they give this group the $30,000, but they give other groups a substantial amount of money throughout the year as well. So congratulations and thank you to the Logan Hall Foundation for helping bridge some of these gaps in our community.
Oh my gosh. And oftentimes I know that organizations will see, okay, 3 groups from Logan Hocking School District. Let's do 1 or let's do 2. And here they are like, nope, 3. Let's fund them all. Yeah. And that's amazing to me.
That is absolutely amazing. So when is your trip going to take place?
So the trip is in June. So I gave the students a week to go to graduation parties and stuff because they deserve that and have graduation parties. So we're going June 9 through the 14th. And the Logan Hall grant almost funds close to half of the cost of this trip. So yeah, the 9th through the 14th. And it's not just like a 2-day thing. They're going to have Sunday through Friday of that week experience on the road, as it were.
That's excellent. That really is. And for those who are thinking of a music career, it gives them a little bit of a glimpse into what being on tour would really be like.
Yeah.
Yeah. On a smaller scale. But
That's right.
Still,
That's right.
a great experience. Well, certainly I appreciate all 3 of you coming into the studio today.
And then also we want to invite some Logan High School students, if you're listening this morning, get into, we're having a Bagels and Brainstorming sponsored by Bagel Street Deli of Athens. And we need people to see it. So Miss Norway invited me to come and speak and talk to the students about how to have a conversation with people. These students who are coming in early on a 2-hour delay day, these students want the culture to change in this school, in this kindness group. So now it's time, I'm going to talk with the students about, so you want things to change. Not everybody does. And
right.
That's just a fact. So how do you have that conversation with people? How do we get the culture to change and kind of change the minds of people who are complacent with it just being the same?
Yes, absolutely. And I will say that you are absolutely 100% right. Not everybody likes change. I personally embrace it and love it because I like living a different life every day.
Yeah, high schoolers are no different.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to each of you for truly working together and merging the relationships of the students so it's one student body. That's very empowering to hear.
Thanks, Teresa.
Thank you guys for coming in. And this has been the Logan Hocking School District's portion of Schools in Session.